Hello, can you hear me now? Check. Play. I think I've unmuted the microphone. Oh, good. I apologize. The error was actually from me. I apologize. I mistakenly muted my microphone. I'm so sorry. I'm very, very happy to be here, the fan. So I apologize. I think I reduce it to like 3 or 2. This is the other side. No, not there. Yeah. The other place where you have fan now is not there. This place now. Yeah. The next button after that. Put it in 3 because of the sound. Sorry. If you can hear me now. Okay. I apologize. The lights. You have touched the lights. All right. So the mistake basically is the error was me. So I'm going to start all over. I'm going to re-explain. Hold the phone. I'm going to re-explain. I apologize. I just checked my microphone. It was actually muted, which basically is an error. So what I was saying before the break in transmission was due to the fact that when you are investing in real estate, you need to understand that there are strategies, okay? When I talk about strategies basically talks about different investment method over time, okay? The reason why I'm even doing this live, the reason why I'm sharing this important information is due to the fact that a whole lot of people have been investing in real estate and their returns or their expectations, okay, for that investment has not been met. And a lot of real estate claim professionals seems to be misleading a whole lot of real estate investment. So this is why I'm going to do, this is going to be a very, very numerous series, okay? Today is Thursday. By the special grace of God, I'll try to do another session before the end of this week, probably tomorrow, where I'm going to be explaining a lot of things. So there are strategies to getting the best. Now, the two area of concentration that today's explanation will center on majorly will be on shortlet apartments and the land banking system. Now, the difference between the shortlet apartments and the land banking system basically is that the shortlet real estate market gives it has a short time frame for investors to start reaping their investments, their profits. Now, there are different shortlet models, okay, that have, giving monthly rental income. Yes, if you have bought, it's like 60% of the investment or the investment I've done for some of my investors in diaspora, larger percent of them are shortlet, and it's due to the fact that many of my investors who owns different kind of shortlets, maybe those who own apartments in Crestview, those who owns with Flames Realty, get their monthly rents accurately, and of course they have not skipped payment, and these guys have been very, very, so the shortlet basically is an hospitality business, okay, that has revolutionized the real estate industry in Nigeria. Now, if you own multiple shortlet apartments, you don't need to wait for 5 years, 6 years, or several years before you start earning your return. Now, so that means the maturity for shortlet apartments is shorter compared to the land banking system. Now, this is not to negate the fact that the land banking system is equally profitable. Now, the difference between the shortlet and the land banking system basically is that the shortlet is a much more preferred. So I am going to be having interviews with so many shortlet managers on the mainland. So it's just quite unfortunate that I may not have the opportunity to go live, but I will do a recorded video with one of the prestigious real estate shortlet management on the mainland. Of course, many of you have seen my video on Crestview apartment, so I'm going to be having an interview with the MD of AM Realty, who also doubles as the manager for Crestview. So he's going to be talking to us how they've been able, okay, to stay in business for over 3 years now. Now, what these guys do basically is that they sell shortlet apartment at the off-plan stage to real estate investors, okay? Now, when that apartment has been completed, the real estate investors will have to furnish it and give it back to them for rentals. And for 3 years, all my investors that bought into their project have been earning rental income. So I'm going to be having an interview with him this week. So I'll try as much as I can to make that interview available on this channel, probably on Sunday. I'll try as much as possible so that you can hear them, you can understand what they have been doing, their strategies, and how successful they've been able to stay off. So I'll also be having some couple of interviews with the manager of Flings, and of course I'll be talking with Edala as well. So I have list of interview scheduled. So it will not just be like it is Adejare that is always talking about Shortlet. You are going to hear from these people. They are going to tell you about their client base. They are going to be talking about what has been sustaining them, their expansion, and what you need to understand. So I just felt it is very, very compulsory for you people to hear from them so you can have an understanding of how they have been operating. Now, that is not to now negate the fact that every other real estate investment is not profitable. The difference between the shortlet management and the land banking system is that, like I said initially, is that the shortlet have a rapid return than the land banking. Both of them are very, very profitable. So I'm going to be explaining some of these models in this live session, and I will try as much as possible to respond to as many questions as possible. So if you have questions immediately after this interview, you can drop it on the comment section. If you have my WhatsApp number, you can also impute it as well. So I'll also have one of my page manager to drop my number. Rema, please. So I'm just going to, so you drop it as comments in one of our pages. Okay, so this is the number. Please type it so that they can throw. So let's talk about real estate investment strategies. Now, there are different strategies to real estate investment. Now, the reason why I've embarked extensively on talking more about these strategies is due to the fact that I have seen a lot of investments not giving the anticipated return. I have seen real estate companies mismanage investors investment. I've seen it. I've seen situations whereby most of these developers are not accountable. They cannot say, okay, fine, this is what you have, this is your money, this is what I've been able to do with your money. Okay, the only thing they just promise basically are just return of investment that is not realistic, and of course that you cannot have access to. So on today, I'm going to be talking about that. Now, so there are different investment strategies if you are looking at Lagos, and one of the things that you need to understand is that location is of utmost importance. You need to understand that location is of utmost importance. And when real estate investors are buying properties, I also need to explain further that what determines if you are going to have a rapid or a short time return on investment is dependent on, number one, the brand you have bought your property from, and number two, the usage of such properties. So I'm going to be explaining that within this shortest time possible. And of course, I'll be looking forward to your questions. If you have questions, my number is there, +234 802 132 73. So you can drop your number. You can send me a message on WhatsApp and we'll look at that. Now, let's talk about location. Now, a lot of real estate investors have reached out to me and they've asked me several questions. There was the first person I had to talk to was an investor that he said he has a 4-flat 2-bedroom apartment in I think somewhere around, I want to recall, yes, Ayobo. Okay, Ayobo is in the part of the Lagos mainland. Then I've also interacted with some who said they have apartments in Ikorodu. the Ogolonto area of Ikorodu. I've also met with several real estate investor who have also told me that they have apartments in Badagry and the likes and the likes. And their question is, can I put them up for Shortlet? And I'll be responding to that. And one of the things you need to understand is, number one, location plays an important role. Number two, demand is the core of every Shortlet business. Now, when you look at the location, when people are booking for Shortlet accommodation, there are three important things. Now, most of the people that book Shortlets on the Lagos mainland, some people also book on the Lagos Island. So I need to explain that. Now, there are three important things they look out for. When they are looking at location, the first thing that comes to their mind is accessibility. Accessibility. How quick is this particular location for our diasporan people to the Murtala Mohammed International Airport? How quick is this location to Ikeja, Magodo, and the likes? And a lot of real estate investors, please, can you get me an handkerchief? A lot of real estate investors look at this before they now make their choice of, okay, let me book at Surulere, let me book at Ikeja, let me book at Lekki, let me book at that. Accessibility is of prior importance. The next thing they also put into consideration is, what is the security situation of that place? Now, when we talk about security, we know basically that there are some parts of Nigeria that has a lot of, in fact, when my people are always coming, like my diasporan investors, the first thing I tell them is that don't look like somebody that is just coming to Nigeria. Dress as casual as possible. Interact with many people as possible, so that those bad people will not, signal you and say, okay, this one is janded. So security is of utmost importance. How secured is that location? And some real estate, some Shortlet companies have paid adequate attention to security. Security is of utmost importance. Now, if you now want to do Shortlet, you have looked at the location, you have looked at the accessibility. The next thing you also want to look at is the management of that Shortlet. Now, when we talk about management, what the Shortlet management will do basically is that they will ensure the smooth running of that place. Now, the last time I visited the Crestview in Surulere, okay, so they have in Surulere, they have in Ibeju, the one in Lekki, and Shortlet Crestview 4 or 5 is also coming up before the end of this year. One of the things I saw basically was that Crestview has 3 main sources of power supply. I'm not marketing them, I'm just trying to use them as an instance so you can understand why management is very, very important. Okay, they have 3 major sources of electricity. Number one, they use they are on band A. Like for some of us who are familiar with electricity in Nigeria, we know we have band A, band B, band D. And so one thing that is very, very prominent about band A is that band A supposedly, okay, let me use the word, enjoy 20 hours power supply. Number 2, they have a solar inverter system that if peradventure the light goes off, automatically it converts to that inverter. So light does not go off. And they also have a generating set, a big diesel generating set. If they have to do some maintenance structures and the likes, they are on that diesel gen. So in other words, they have been able to solve the problem of power supply. And one of the reasons why many people choose to use them basically is due to the fact that they have a good cleaning system. They have janitors, they have different cleaners who always ensure that all these things are clearly. So everything, the reason why this brand has been around for over 3 years now is because they have an effective management system. So if you are looking at Shortlet management, you have to look at that. And that's why sometimes I have had a lot of stories, unpleasant stories from people who have been doing this and they don't have an accurate understanding that management is very important. So it's not about the apartments you have. And trust me, any location you choose to use your shortlet, if you have a shortlet in places like the Ikorodu, the Ayobo, I believe most of the investors that actually told me they have this particular shortlet property are watching. So indirectly, I'm giving my own 1 or 2 recommendations, and of course, it's subject to your criticism and approval. So if you have shortlets in these areas that are not considered as prime locations, there are some areas that they are core for shortlet management. And the mistake that some real estate investors have made, basically, when it comes to shortlets, it doesn't have to be in the location that you like. That's just the point. A lot of people have said, I don't like Surulere, I don't like Yaba, I don't like Lekki is too flooded. Not every place in Lekki is flooded. Okay, I have a lot of videos to debunk that analogy that everywhere. Of course, there are some places in Lekki, but there are some places in Lekki that have a good, drainage system that adequately tackles the problem of water. But what I'm trying to say basically is that, so a lot of people have missed out on good shortlet investment opportunities simply because they don't like the place. Now, a lot of people used to think that if I want to do shortlet, it must be a place I like. It doesn't have to be a place. What matters most is that is the market booming in that area. That's the first investment error that we need to adequately solve. Whether you like Surulere, you like Ikeja, you like Lekki, you like Chevron, you like Ologolo. So your preference basically right now should not be a determinant factor. What should be the determinant factor is where is the location? Is the location booming? In as much as fact that there are people who are making close to 8 million, 12 million a year from shortlets. A lot of people are even making above that. A lot of people are making above that. So basically, it's about not your preference, but where the market is. Number 2, how accessible is your property? So when you are considering shortlets as a basic real estate, because my own advice, if you're watching this video, my own advice basically is that if you have properties, you have bought lands, you have bought maybe 1 or 2 projects on the island, and you are not making good return on it, I will not say you should sell them. I will just say diversify your investments so that when you earn from some of your investments, you can channel that earnings to maintain others. So that's some of the simple real estate investment strategies. So is shortlet a good one? Shortlet is perfect. So in other words, if you have bought lands, like for instance, a lot of people are shouting the Lagos Calabar Coastal Road. Now, I have had that, okay, buzzing my timeline, my social media timeline, talking about the coastal road. Me, I've actually gave my own contributions to it, and it's a good place to invest. Do you understand? But if you have properties in that Lekki axis, like if you have properties in Tiwa, if you have properties in Amen, if you have properties in Itunu, all those Lekki Expressway, if you have, I know some investors that they have over 6 plots there. As far as I'm concerned, I stand to be corrected here. If you have few plots there, okay, I think you should take a pause from buying lands and diversify your investments. My own observation. Like I said, I stand to be corrected. I stand, of course, it's also dependent on your own perception of what you think. But if I were to be in your shoe, if I've had multiple investments, in, I have it to know, I have Amen. Please help me with the name. I've bought in Tiara, I've bought in all those places. To me, I consider it not necessary. The only time where it is necessary is if you don't have anything there, or you feel you don't have enough. Like if you have like maybe one or two. Okay. Now this is also dependent on the investment goal. What is it? Why are you back? You see, a lot of investors need to reassess their investment goals. Why? They say there is airport. There is airport, which is good. It has been confirmed there's an airport in that axis. Okay, there's the Lekki, there's the refinery and the likes. But if you have multiples, then it's time to diversify. How many off plan do you have in your portfolio? How many off plan? How many agricultural investments? Now, there's a company that will sell farm to you. These guys will help you plant palm trees. You will pay them to help them cultivate. They will cultivate for you. Then after cultivating, they will process and sell, and they will pay you. You can also look at that. Okay, fine. And if you look at how much they sell their hectare basically, I think some is selling 11.5, some 12.5 million. And the most fascinating of all is that they have payment plan. So if you have bought Amen, you have bought Tiara, you have bought Itunu, you have bought a drone, please help me. If you have bought multiple, I honestly don't see a reason why you should just focus on that area alone. No. In as much as fact that the international airport axis is very important, it is also important to understand that it is not always advisable to stack all your investments in one location. It is not a good real estate investment strategies. As you have bought that one, let it be appreciated. Go to farm. If it is cassava you want to do, if it is palm oil production you want to do, buy some hectares, leave it. Look for one or two off plan. Okay, fine. They are off plan in Ibeju GRA that even gives you 12-month payment plan. There's apartments, there's terraces, there's duplex, and do an analysis of, okay, fine, what's the rental income or what is the rental demand? Trust me, the rental demand in Ibeju GRA, the rental demand in Abramadesoya, Lekki Scheme 2, the rental demand in the Aja axis is very, very massive. Ladies and gentlemen, dear real estate investor, pick one or two, pick one in Ibeju, pick one in Abramadesoya or Aja or something. Then focus on shortlet management. Because you see, if the goal is towards retirement, then you need to build a portfolio. If you have built a real estate portfolio, not every property out there will be attractive to you. I have some couple of investors that I'm presently working with, okay? And the properties they are paying for monthly are earnings from their monthly shortlet rental income on the mainland. So these people will just, okay, fine. Cresville has paid me, Flint has paid me. They will assemble that money, had one or two, and they have been. So those kind of people have started earning. So they are using the proceeds of their shortlet that's what some people are using to buy their farm. That's what they are using to buy their Lekki Expressway and some other things. So you see, if you build a portfolio, you will not even fall into scam. Because you see, this one is selling. Now, the industry is so saturated to the point that everybody wants to sell. So we really need to explain that. Everybody wants to sell. Everybody's flooding your timeline with buy this, buy this, buy this. And some of those investments are like dangers waiting for the accurate time to unveil themselves. So we really need to look at that. So if you have an investment portfolio, just okay, fine. Between this and this is what I should have. Okay, I've had lands in Ibeju Lekki. Okay, fine. Let me pick one or two off-plan projects. One in Ibeju, one in Lekki Scheme 2 or Aja. Okay, I've done that. Okay, maybe my own retirement house, maybe somewhere around Ologolo and the likes. Pick one and buy shortlets. So by the time you have been able to create that portfolio in that manner, you will now realize that you have covered the major parts of real estate investments. You have. You realize that you have been able to focus on investments that can pay you for life. And these are some of the simple real estate investment strategies that every smart real estate investor must look out to. Don't just be buying land. In as much as fact that land is good, but don't put all your investments in just one location. Create a portfolio. So these are some of the things that you should do. Now, for land banking, is it good? Now, at the commencement of this video, I said basically that one of the things I will be doing is that I'll be having interviews with industry professionals, and this is why you need to subscribe to this channel, because you see, while everybody is throwing properties at your face, I will be opening your eyes to see the one that you need. In fact, my channel will help you understand what is needed and what is useless. So you will be, wherever you are across the world, you will just understand that it is not everything that glitters out there that is gold. You'll be able to tell. You'll be in a better position to discern and know, okay, this is what I have, this is what I have. But we need for you to start thinking of building a profitable real estate investment portfolio. It is very important. Now, the reason why you have to do that is that time is no longer on our side. Inflation is eating really hard. Inflation right now in Nigeria is all highest time high. A lot of investments are gradually, going off. Okay, the rich of the middle class, and the sad thing is that the longer you wait, do you understand? The longer it becomes more expensive, and this is why you need to have these strategies as you approach Nigerian or the Lagos State real estate market. Now, a lot of people have been asking, so what do you now suggest? What should we now do going forward? My dear real estate investors, have a portfolio. Now, what should be your portfolio? Now, your portfolio is now dependent on your own personal goal. What you are looking forward to achieve in the next 3 years, in fact, what you are looking forward to achieve in the next 3, 4, 5 years will now determine the kind of investment you should go for. That's the way it works. So, for instance, I have people, real estate investors, who have bought Shortlet, who are earning monthly, and they use their earnings on a monthly basis to pay. Many of them, majority of them are on payment plan, and they are using the proceeds of this, what they've earned, to be paying regularly for some of their land banking or any other things they are doing. And for them, it's convenient. Now, they are earning monthly, their property is appreciating. If they choose to flip any of them, it's at their liberty. It's their property. They can choose to do whatsoever they like about it, and that's just a beautiful thing. So I'll be having a series of interviews with industry professionals on this channel. It will be a recorded interview. I would have wanted it to be live, but the stress, and most times these people are always busy. So before we set up our technical team and some other things, so that's it. Thank you very much, Ma. We're fine. Thank you, Ma. I'm fine. We're fine. So these are some of the things that you need to know, because you see, as long as the Nigerian real estate is concerned, everything will look good. The way they will package some of these things, it will look good. Now, I got a response from someone who said it is not possible, okay, for the federal government to take 500 meters setback for the coastal road. And I'm super glad that another surveyor confirmed that the government is keen on taking that 500 meter. I'm not talking about the coastal road today, but I've said it before that when I come, I understand I'm online. I understand that I just can't come here and say things I'm not sure of. I'm too professional, I'm too experienced for me to share on, unvalidated, unverified information. So if I tell you this is what is going on, you should know that a lot of research, a lot of interviews, a lot of groundwork, due diligence has been done. So I'm not just basically explaining some of these things because I want to. I'm saying it because of this is what I know. And I was also checking, and I found out that there was a previous court ruling. Sorry, I have to go back to that coastal road because the reason why I'm saying, I am not saying you should not buy or invest for me as a person until government clearly indicates that this is where the setback is starting from and this is where the setback will end. Whether they are taking 120 square meter, 120 meters, 200 meters, 200, 500, until government clearly by themselves indicates where the setback is starting from and where it is ending. I will never ever ask anybody, I will not use my hand and say this property is facing the coastal road, come and buy. Because you see, this present administration are very keen on real estate. A lot of people don't understand. You see, this Lagos Calabar coastal road, I'm so sorry to digress, but I just want to quickly explain some things that I consider to be very, very important. They are doing that coastal road from VI, and the supposed coastal road is supposed to end. Remember my choice of word, I said suppose. It's supposed to end at Calabar. I can assure you that as long as this administration is concerned, whether they reach Calabar or they reach other states is not my major concern. But what I can boldly tell you is that before the first time expiration of this present tenure, they will start that coastal road from that VI, which the project has started, and they will complete the face of Lagos. Now, whether they now go to other states is yet to be seen. But I can assure you, okay, that they will finish that face of Lagos, Eleko, Abramadesoya, and the likes, and they will finish it with Ibeju Lekki. Now, government that are now doing the coastal, do you know? Let me even tell you. The initial alignment was changed. Where they are doing that road was not where it was supposed to. Okay, don't let me use supposed. Allegedly. Where that construction is going on was not the original alignment. It was changed from where it was supposed to be to where it is now. Now, for the fact that there was a change on that alignment, that simply means a lot of people were displaced. And now, it has not been revealed on how many that have been compensated and what government intends to do with the people that this new alignment affected their property. Now, I'm telling you why you have to be careful, okay? I have to digress because I don't want you to lose money. The saddest thing is that if you buy without ascertaining some of these things I'm saying, I have collected refund from a real estate developer. I know what my eyes saw before I was able to recover that money from my investor. I know what I went through. And that is why I'm always careful of who we deal with. He said, after all, they will pay refund. It's not that easy. I invited police. We went to court. Did this for 6 months. So I know how stressful it is to recover the fund from developer. It's not as easy as that. So that's why I'm saying that if you must invest, carry surveyor. Now, a lot of companies are saying they've left 30 meters. Some said they've left 50 meters. Now, we are not sure if their own setback will tally with what government is, and as long as it is federal government of Nigeria, it doesn't matter if they give them C of O. The constitution empowers the government to override any title, in as much as fact that that property is overriding public interest according to the law. They will cancel C of O. Not be Lagos State give C of O. So if you must invest, stay as far as possible from the road alignment. That's what I will say. Stay as far. If they can bring down the almighty landmark bridge, they won't spare anybody. I can assure you, they won't spare anybody. So someone asked me, I said, sir, let them finish this road. I don't know why all of you are just rushing. It will be expensive. See, it is better for it to be expensive and is available for you to use it when you need it, than for you to say, okay, I want to rush and buy promo, and I have bought promo and there is issue. To collect money, money that you have paid a real estate developer, to collect it back is not rice and beans. So I've experienced it. I can come out and tell you that it's better to be careful, and that's why sometimes I have not come and say this road is 20 minutes from the coastal road. I'm a Nigerian. I know what our people can do when it comes to land. So a lot of people have been displaced. I know there's going to be a resettlement pattern in that place. So the people that were affected by that original alignment, in this new alignment, I believe they will have a resettlement scheme where they will put them. There will be a place that government will want to sell to companies, banks, fuel stations, mention them, hotels. So you see that front, everybody saying it's 20 minutes. Let me use this word, do not play. Many people are just kidding. So you think government will now do road for you to now buy and sell at your price? It is well. So these are some of the basic investment strategies that you must understand as a real estate investors. So whether you have chosen to do Shortlet. Now, if you are not doing land banking, now I have a video that I'll be posting soon, probably this Friday. And that video basically is talking about 3 important questions that you should ask the Ibeju Lekki developer before you buy properties from them. I'll try as much as, okay, today is Thursday. Don't let me promise what I cannot do. Maybe by next week, by God's grace, by next week, I'll drop that video. See, if you are buying properties in Nigeria and you are following this channel and you are sticking to some of these things, these things I'm saying, they are personal experience. So I won't just come and say, this is how these things are. These are things that we have seen. Like they will say it in Yoruba, Oju Tiri, eyes have seen. So we understand some of these things. So these are some of the basics. So I'll be quickly going to the question and answer session. But before I go into that, so in conclusion, if you are buying, if you are investing, when you have an investment portfolio, like me as a person, my investment portfolio cuts across the specific areas of need of every Lagosian in Nigeria. That's how my own portfolio is. So what are those specific areas of need? I know that human beings must eat. We must eat. So I have farmlands that I've bought. Now, there are 2 options to it. You can buy those farmlands, cultivate it by yourself, or buy it from real estate companies, okay, that will cultivate for you and will give you your returns as stated on the contract. So my own portfolio, I have farmlands, whether it is palm oil production, whether it is cash crop production, whether it is livestock production, any production at all, have it, because human beings must eat. And with the growing level of insecurity in Nigeria, foods are very expensive. See, it is this bad. Okay, I am on the island, So I really don't know if the statistics I'll be giving will correlate to other parts of Lagos. But I can categorically tell you that for you to cook better soup in this our island, on this our island, soup like you want to do vegetable, maybe you want to buy chicken or you want to buy fish, 20,000 is not enough. I'm telling you the fact. So food has become so expensive to the point that your real estate investment portfolio must carry a segment where you have to invest in farmland, whether for immediate use or future use. Number two, your real estate investment must have some investment in some certain locations. More important is area of land banking. So that was why I said at the commencement of the video that if you have properties in Ibeju Lekki, now when I talk about properties, there are different kind of properties. Verified C of O's, gazettes, governor's consent. If you have 3, 4, it's okay. It's okay. You don't need to have 10 acres that is not doing anything for you. If you have 3 or 4, it's okay. Go and buy off plan. Look for one. See, look for location. I've told you locations that there is demand. Ibeju GRA, there is demand. Abramade Sonya, there is demand. Songotedo, there is demand. Aja Badore, there is demand. Look for 1 or 2 projects there. Look for a flexible payment plan that does not exceed 12 months. Pick 1 or 2. Then, for your cash flow, buy shortlets. Now, a lot of people have said, I want my shortlet on the island. Now, you can have your shortlet on the island, which is not a bad idea. But you can also choose to diversify. Now, your choice of where you're now going to structure your shortlets will now not be based on whether I like that place or not. In as much as it's giving me money. Chicken. So, buy shortlets. So, when you have a balanced investment portfolio like that, whether you choose to retire in the next 5 years, 6 years, trust me, my dear mommies and daddies, brothers and sisters in diaspora, you'll be enjoying forever. You will, because you see, you have tailored your real estate investment to solve different aspects of the Nigerian economy. You have farm, you have lands in strategic locations, you have apartments, you have duplexes, then you have shortlets. If there's any other thing that I must have missed from this list, of course you can drop it on the comment section. No one knows it all. But if you have created a portfolio like that, so if you have not done that, I would really want you to consider that going forward. I would definitely want you to consider that. Have rental properties, have farmlands, whether it is cash crop, palm oil, have shortlets. Let them be paying you monthly. Now, by the time you're able to gather, the returns on those investments, then whether it is Miami, anywhere you want to go and have your vacations, you have assets that will sponsor your luxurious lifestyle. And that is how a lot of people today will never be poor. It's not a question of whether it's a cause or the economy. These people have been able to do what they have been able to intelligently structure an investment that now when people come to me and say, I want to buy this land, I will tell you, the question I ask basically is that, what do you intend to do with this land? A lot of people said, some realtors will tell them, you can buy. If you buy, you can resell it in the future. Do you know how many people that have bought without intention of reselling? Now the question basically is, reselling is good. I'm not trying to how do I say it now? I'm not trying to debunk or discourage you from resale. But the truth basically is that I think I made a video where I said I have like 5 properties that some of our investors have said, Adejare, you must sell. And I've received offers, but some of the offers I've received basically is that some people have this perception that the reason why you want to sell is because you have problem, and what they will want to pay is highly ridiculous. Now, another thing that have made reselling difficult, apart from the fact that some ridiculous offers can come in, is due to the fact that the developer that you have bought that place from is not doing anything on that property. So I cannot talk about reselling. Okay, one of the reasons why we're having issues, okay, reselling some properties is that the moment some of these developers have allocated you to the land, well, for some who have the conscience to do so, for some who have allocated, I can assure you that many of them have never stepped their foot on that property. So reselling is not a bad idea. Reselling is always easier when there is meaningful and tangible things that can attract and invest. Okay, you want to sell for 15 million. Okay, some will ask me, a lot of people have asked me. There was a particular project a diaspora asked me to sell for her. So I was able to get a buyer. We drove down to the site. Now, as we were driving towards where that property is, even I myself, I was ashamed of that property. And I was looking at that man's expression. The man was just shaking his head. So from that moment, I knew we were going to have a difficult time reselling. And the first question that man asked me basically is that, okay, you said this woman wants to sell at this so price. And the man said, I have the money, I can afford to buy. But one question you must answer favorably if you really want me to drop the check and buy this property. And the man asked me, what is the justification for this price? And I looked at the man and said, look, my dear brothers and sisters, see, when the man started pointing to the fence, some part of the fence are cracked, some are broken. Larger part of the land is bush. And there are traces that the company that sold have never stepped their foot there in a long time. And this dear real estate investor was expecting the check to drop. And after we finished that inspection, one thing was just certain. It was at that time, what I was talking about is I was around 2023. Yes. It was an experience I can never forget. When we drove out of that site, I just told the woman, I said, ma, just keep this. That was when I made up my mind that any real estate development company that does not have a track record, when I talk about track record, if you see what Xylos is doing on all of their projects, that is track record. If you see what Amen is doing, Tiara, for most of you that bought Tiara phase 2, they have started building. If you see, help me with their names. I'm trying to recall. If you see what Lekki Aviation, these are properties in Ibeju Lekki. See what these guys are doing on that property. See, you can easily take somebody there and the person will be so glad to buy from you. Meanwhile, there are other places that even yourself, you'll be ashamed of going there because you know that what you want to show the buyer, the interested buyer, basically is bush. So it becomes extremely difficult, and that is why if you must land bank, dear real estate investors, that's why I usually say before you buy any property, contact us. We have this record at our disposal. A lot of people are just buying because they're being persuaded. We know those who have delivered. This is not like I'm trying to discourage you, but I'm just trying to prevent a situation whereby after years of purchase, you are not satisfied with what you are being given or what has become that property. So whether it is Ibeju Lekki or other places, you need to look at the developer's track record. Most of these guys don't care. After they've sold, they've allocated to you, whatsoever becomes that project becomes your problem. And that is why reselling in some estates have been extremely difficult because there's no significant improvement that can say, okay, fine, you want to sell this place for 15 million? Okay, from our evaluation, it's worth it. We'll pay. But how many real estate companies, apart from this, there are several. Veritasi doing awesome, Amen Estates, Xylos, Tiwa. Oh my God, these guys have been, like, I look at my investors' property there and I'm happy. Like, I would just, there will be some times in the night, I would just think like, God, bless this developer. because I look at this and I know that an investor's property has a future. There are several. I may not be able to, of course, recall some of them. So let's quickly go to the question and answer segment. I really don't want to take out time. Rema, let me have my phone. Let me check some of my WhatsApp messages. I know some questions will have dropped. So let's quickly go to the question and answer. Please, if you have questions, you can also drop it on the comment section. So I want to quickly just respond to few. Then we'll call it a wrap. And by God's grace, I'll be here tomorrow. So please, you want to be part of tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be very, very explosive. There's a lot, okay? There's a lot we want to talk about. So we have a couple of interviews that will be coming on, recorded videos on this channel. This is why you have to subscribe. This is why you have to be part of it, because see, if you are following us and you are still making some costly and unprofitable real estate investment, then it's your fault. That's just the point. We basically, I have tried as much as I can to be as simple, as direct, as straightforward, so that you will not be making some costly real estate investment. So I have, of course, I have few questions here to talk about this. This question says, what are the 3 risks? Because I've already bought at the coastal road. Are you saying government is going to take the land? You see our people. Sometimes when they are making videos or making giving advices like this, I have tried as much as possible, as much as I can, to be as simple as. I did not say that government will collect your land. No. Please, I sincerely don't want to be misquoted. All I'm saying is that try as much as possible as you can to stay clear the setback. Now, whether the setback will be 120, ideally, the normal setback is supposed to be 120 meters from the road. Sure, you understand? Now, they are proposing that it may be 500 meters. And when you calculate 500 meters from where the road is, you will come to the conclusion that almost half of the entire places are gone. That means some houses will also go as well. So what I'm trying to say in essence, whether it is 120 meter that will be the stipulated setback, whether it is 200, 250 or 500 meters, which has not been agreed upon. What I said is that try as much as you can to follow the setback. So I don't know where you bought. I don't know the things, the person you've bought from. All I'm just saying is get a surveyor. Let the surveyor help you measure the set. If you can even tell the developer that you don't mind to be way off the setback, that's good for you. So please, sir, I never said that government will collect your land. I'm not saying I don't work with government. Okay, I'm not saying this and this. All I'm saying is that they will enforce setback. So try as much as you can to follow the setback alignment. That's all. So I have another question. So can you mention the 5 shortlet locations? Okay. Now, if I say mention, all I can say basically is that there are some areas that shortlet apartments is like programmed to do excellently. There are some areas that it will take a while before it becomes a shortlet investment destinations. Now, the reason why I'm making all this clarity, or why I'm making these clarifications, basically, is due to the fact that I need to give an accurate explanation on some of these things, so that when you are making your investments, what has been projected to you will not fall below your expectations. So what I'm saying in essence is that there are some locations, like for instance, you are going to the mainland. Ikeja is a good hotspot. Anthony, Maryland, wonderful. Though we don't have many shortlets, and that's why we'll be talking about the Bruce End this Thursday, next week Thursday. I know of Surulere. Trust me, Surulere is of course, when you look at that Adeniran, Ogunsoya, the Adelabu, all these areas of Surulere, basically, Surulere is more or less like a central. You can easily access the Third Mainland Bridge, you can access Lekki, you can access Ikeja, because of the centrality. So Surulere is also a good location. Lekki Phase 1, trust me, the Lekki Phase 1, the Victoria Island, the Banana Island, oh my word, those ones are the core, okay? The Lekki Phase 1, the Ologolo, the Chevron. Are people doing shortlets in Shangotedo? Yes, I've seen few. But Ibeju, GRA. So if for those who are asking, Ikorodu, Ayobo, other places, I really don't have enough statistical data to affirm whether that location is good or not, because I've not been there. So there might be tendencies that there are people running shortlets, okay, there, but I will try as much as possible. I need to fix my car, so I've not been mobile for some days. I will do a lot of interviews, and of course do my own personal research and confirm if those locations are very, very possible. But do not be discouraged. In as much as you have a good shortlet manager and you can spend more, okay, on hard, I can assure you your shortlet apartment will do well. But the reason why I'm always making recommendations of Crestview and other shortlet managers on the mainland basically is that these guys will manage everything. So the pain of whether somebody has booked your apartment or whether your property is well managed, whether there are damages, they have taken that completely off your neck. All you just do is you just earn. They pay you monthly. So they take it upon themselves to do the hard, to do the management, to do the cleaning and every other repairs to make sure your apartment. So that's why me as a person, okay, I prefer in the situation. So you can, all you just do is you earn monthly. They pay you. So whether they have guests or they make some losses, that one does not concern you. The agreed amount will be paid. So, and that's what we're going to be finding out, how they've been able to achieve this for the past 3 years. We're going to be having an interview with them. So they'll probably, inform us, they let us know, okay, what they've been doing. So that is why you have to, if you have not subscribed to this channel, trust me, you are missing a lot, because we have a lot. As long as you are my real estate investors, you want to get the best, trust me, I owe you one thing: tell you things the way they are, explain some of these things. You are not going to be left in dark. And any investment you are taking, trust me, they are just the best. So if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Be part of this family. Wants you to be here. Okay, so my studio manager is telling me we need to round off. Okay, so in case there are other questions that I've not been able to, okay, let me take one or two. You talk about land banking. Are you saying the Lekki Ekpe is not a good? I never said that too. Our people, please stop misquoting me. What I'm saying in essence is, with the development that is going, they've started installing street lights from Ekpe. They have passed the Ibeju Lekki, and that street light is going all the way from Abraham Adesoya. It is a good real estate investment. All what I was saying is that you should diversify. If you have 1, 2, 3 acres in Lekki Ekpe, to me, I think it's enough. Don't just use all your earnings to just buy land because of airport. It's good though. It's good though. I'll be showing you some investments that is along that Lekki Ekpe. It's a fantastic thing. No, it is. What I'm saying is that if you have more than enough, diversify. Okay, that's one of the things I was trying to say. I'm not saying you should not invest. I'm saying that don't put your investment in one place. Okay. So your colleague was talking about lease apartments and land banking, and he spoke extensively on it. I would want to know your view about that. Okay. Thank you, thank you very much for this observation. Of course, it's not just a colleague; he's our boss. He's doing fantastically well. We are colleagues. We work together, and we have been very explicit on the way we do our things. Okay, so that obviously will not be today. Maybe in subsequent session. By God's grace, tomorrow I will try to be here. So when it comes to lease, when it comes to land banking and the likes, they are better only for the fact that you earn more. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about some of that by tomorrow. But this is where I'm going to draw today's curtain. First of all, I want to say a very big thank you to everybody that joined this live session. Thank you very much. I truly appreciate this, and trust me, tomorrow is going to be explosive. Okay, because I'm not going to be posting any video on Saturday because I have sites supervisions I need to do. So I'll be on site from morning till evening, so I will not be able to do any video. So that's why tomorrow we're going to have another live session. Then of course we'll post another video on Sunday. And just to keep you informed, in case you have not subscribed to this channel, please do well to do so. Try to do so, because there's a lot. I'm going to be having a lot of interviews with different Shortlet management company, which is very rare. I'm also going to be doing the documentary on the Lekki Expressway. Of course, when my media team, they went for the Salah break, so when they're back, we're going to be so there's a lot coming on this channel. Trust me, there's a lot. I'm going to be talking about 3 important questions to ask the real estate Ibeju Lekki developer. I'm also going to be talking about Scotty Guma. This guy that has been calling out real estate company. I'm going to be talking about what he has done, my own perception. I'm also going to be talking about waterlogged lands. I'm going to be talking about soil structures, understanding power foundation and the likes. That also, so I have a lot. So this particular channel is very determined to help you make the best. So that obviously are some of the programs that you should be anticipating on this channel. So I want to start by saying a very big thank you to everybody. Mrs. Jumi, thank you. Madam Mary, thank you. Mr. I can't pronounce that name, but Mr. Kumbat, thank you. Miss Doria, Mr. Latif, Lockview, thank you, everybody. For those I did not mention your name, I'm so sorry. Thank you. I appreciate everything. So let's do this tomorrow, same time, 3:35 p.m. by God's grace. Bye for now. God bless you.